I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Take my hand, and we don't need to do the things we don't want to do.
Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG Ultragear Gaming Monitor.
I never want to make compromises when I play. I need every FPS I can take to perform at my peak. For myself, for my team, as well as for my viewers. Streaming always used to present me with a choice, either FPS or stream quality. I no longer have to make that decision thanks to AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors. Now my viewers get to see my gameplay smoothly. Ever since joining the team in 2018, AMD's partnership with Fnatic has given us the latest computer tech to help our performance. 3rd generation Ryzen is now the pinnacle of multi-threaded processor performance, and it's a big step up from everything else I've used before. AMD have listened to our feedback to make sure they make the best products possible so that we can simultaneously play as well as stream at the best setting. That's why I use AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series, powered by JBL Quantum Gaming Headsets and AMD. My name is Apollonia, I'll be your host and caster today, and joining me, you already know, you've seen him a number of times, it's CA, caster, and analyst. How are you feeling?
Great, Aspo, and I'm really excited for our match today. It's Velocity versus RAD, one of the most exciting quarterfinals of the tournament so far. Both of these teams absolutely popping off before this stage. And RAD, they just want to make a name for themselves. You saw Paradox absolutely pulling off some insane plays, but now they're facing a sticky situation against a team who, let alone series, has never even lost a map so far. So that's going to be a real difficult stage for them.
For sure, the RAD Syndicate, they are up against Velocity Gaming, and they haven't lost the game. So they are basically defending champions of many Valorant tournaments, including ours. So let's move into the map page and have a look at which maps are selected. So through the veto process, we have Haven as map number 1, Ascent as map number 2, and Split for map number 3. Now, CA, right off the bat, you can tell that Haven is the Velocity Gaming pick, and it is. And Ascent was picked by the RAD Syndicate. If we do move on to map 3, that map was actually picked by RAD as well. So we can see a trend where both teams do not like Bind, which is something that we've speculated time and again.
Yeah, so like both of the teams, they're very orthodox teams in terms of the way they play and the way they approach the game. They both like the idea of having mid control, having the possibility of simple rotations, and playing mind games with your opponent. We've already seen Velocity do exactly that. Moreover, Bind, it doesn't really leave as much room for op players. Like there's only 1 or 2 good spots for operators in Blind as compared to maps like Split. Haven and Ascent, we've already seen how good Velocity is on Haven. They play so damn aggressive even when they're on defense. They use the Garage specifically really well with the Phoenix on Amaterasu sometimes to like take the pressure to their opponents. And Ascent, I don't have to say anything. We all remember how damn good Paradox is. Some might even say Ascent is the Paradox simulation map because he seems to know every single corner of that map on his hand. He just decides what to do, where to do. And recently we saw him play the Jet on Ascent. So I'm really excited to see that perhaps RAD could take a game and maybe, just maybe take the series even against Velocity.
All right, we are now in game. We can see that both teams have loaded up. It is going to be Velocity Gaming on the side of defense and the RAD Syndicate on the side of attack. Let's just pull up the scoreboard and have a look at who everyone is playing now. Pretty standard for Velocity Gaming, with the exception that Xcali this time will be picking up that Omen. And Antidote has chosen the Jet. Now this is going to be cool. And as for the RAD Syndicate, they look very ready to go for this C-side push. Now they're all gathered along C-long. And the spike will actually make its way over to mid. And I can pretty much guess why both these teams don't like Bind. It's a map which we've kind of nicknamed the no mid map. There isn't a mid area. There are teleporters. That's the uniqueness of Bind. And these teams just want a pretty standard map. Now, both teams are about to clash. Xcali picked off the first kill on Paradox. That might be a little bit tough for the RAD Syndicate as ZPDF falls. Master, however, does get a headshot on Amaterasu. 4v3. The invasion is successful. You can see all 3 members of the RAD Syndicate on B side, but Antidote comes through, picks up Master X Cali with the backup. It's a 2v4 situation, right to Ace. Picks out the Oxys, Badman gets a kill, last man standing, 48 HP, pops the heal, might not survive this. And there you go, 3-man standing, Velocity Gaming off to a very strong start.
Off the bat, naturally, I would at least expect Velocity to win the pistol round for 2 key reasons, right? One, because they're just Velocity, so they're just expected to be better in an equal fight. But also because if you notice the compositions, it's the Velocity Classic, as I like to call it, with no healer and the double duelist. What I do like for RAD though is that they've gone back to comfort. We did see Paradox go on the Jet, which forced ZBDF onto the Omen, which he did not look as comfortable on rather than his currently Cypher. This composition, exactly as it is, we've seen from RAD before, and it's way more comfortable for them than Paradox being on the Jet. So right now it just comes down to, Velocity do get a kill as Badman enters. It is the eco round for RAD to see if they can do anything, but Velocity is just gonna say nope.
Ooh, Amaterasu and right to Ace both picking up doubles there. And yes, it was the equal round for the RAD Syndicate. And now moving on to round 3, we'll witness both sides with a full buy and see what they can really pull off on this map. Now the RAD Syndicate, we were just before this match started, we were talking about how Ascent is basically Paradox's playground. He is the MVP now. I believe he has shot up in the MVP boards, and he did pull off 2 amazing plays on Ascent in different tiers of the tournament. So, Haven, being Velocity Gaming's pick, they're definitely thriving. Taking 2 rounds for themselves right off the bat, and let's see if they will take the 3rd going into this next round.
Yeah, RAD opting to take it slow, which I think is really, really smart. Right here, though, Excali's got into a weird position that they're not going to expect. Oh, Paradox does expect it, gets the kill. And RAD taking it slow will pay off for them because the Cypher on the side of Velocity, Vibor has set up his traps on B side, and A side is completely open.
Deoxys. Now they're moving for A side. ZPDF gets the pick off on right to Ace. And Velocity Gaming, 3 members down as the RAD Syndicate finally gets the full buy. And they're doing something about it. Vibor picks off Badman, 25 HP left to spare. Velocity Gaming, they aren't running a Sage. Something that we don't see very often. But it is part of their strategy. They did pull it off well for the first 2 rounds. Vibor just change his position. Just snap back his abilities. And this round will go over to the RAD Syndicate. So, how they just infiltrated A and got all these pickoffs, the RAD Syndicate definitely has the potential to go up against Velocity Gaming. There are a lot of expectations behind Velocity, whereas for the RAD Syndicate, there isn't as much, as they aren't the defending champions or defending their title as the strongest team in the region. So, this 3rd round, it's a good pickup for the RAD Syndicate. Now the question is, will they be able to be consistent?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, though Haven is the preferred map for Velocity, the attacking start is the preferred start for RAD. And right there, at the end, you saw Paradox and ZBDF just barely get caught out by the wave, forcing them to a little lesser on the bank, but it is full buys once again for both teams with the save coming in from the last 2 members of Velocity. Now RAD once again trying to go for the slow push, and I really like the way they attack. They always look for picks. The pick coming in last time onto Excali made a lot of difference. Right to Ace though gets Badman, and now it's RAD with the man down.
Badman is one of the newest additions to the RAD Syndicate. Last event, it was Paradox and ZBDF that are the retaining members. So this is basically the new and improved RAD, I would say. Or we'd like to hope, since they did lock in this roster and Amaterasu gets taken down by Paradox. Antidote finds ZBDF. It's a 3v3 situation. Velocity Gaming, however, right to ace, too low. Master takes him down, but Antidote finds Paradox there. And Antidote with the triple. Last man standing is Master as he finds Vibber, but that's a 4K. Antidote. Well played. And this is how Velocity Gaming bounces back. So even if you get a round over Velocity, they always find a way to get back that lead. And Haven is where we see Velocity really show their full potential and what they're capable of.
Yeah, for sure. Like, right there, Velocity actually went a man down too, but Antidote being able to pull back for his team absolutely clutch. Really nice strat from Rad though. They pushed C Garage really hard, using the paranoia from Omen, while at the same time Master pushes C long. But Antidote just clutched through for his team, getting 4 kills. And once again, Rad trying to switch it up, but Amaterasu going for the aggressive push down B, gets the spike in the form of Badman. 3 men down for Rad, and Velocity, as you said, just showcasing how well they know this map and how well they know how to like push when they have to and stay back when they need to.
ZBDF. The Ghost. Equal round for the Red Syndicate. And Antidote takes out the last man. Team Ace for Velocity Gaming. Now, Amaterasu, I find that, you know, we don't speak about him as often, but Amaterasu has always been that player. He's in the shadows, but if you look at his track record, he has been performing very consistently. And this is the thing about Velocity Gaming. I don't believe that any of the members are on the MVP board,
Are they
and
asleep?
that's because all 5 members have been stealing the spotlight in different tiers of the tournament. So,
Yeah, I mean,
if you have everyone on the team who is just as good as one another, how does one player shine to break up the MVPs?
they just win the trophy, and then the entire team just picks it up together. They're like, we don't care about MVP slots, just give us the win every single time. Yeah. Regarding the point about Amaterasu, I definitely think Haven specifically too is his map. He's the most consistent player for Velocity by far. Like, he's always able to pull it off. Hunter's Fury coming out for right to ace though. But yeah, in Haven specifically, you see him switch from his general role on Brimstone to his duelist role on Phoenix. And that's a huge change up for me, from going from a controller to a duelist. And you see him just shine when he's able to sort of have the freedom to go aggressively. Master using the showstopper to get one. Deoxys gets another, but they do get one return back. Rad will take control of the site though. And Rad answering back. 3 versus 1 as the spike gets planted.
Now, the RAD Syndicate, they decided to put everything onto the C side and went for a quick push. And there's a little bit of a pattern here. When the RAD Syndicate just hard pushed A side and now C side and caught Velocity Gaming off guard, they won the round. Those 2 rounds. So the thing is, the same strategy isn't always going to work against Velocity. But we just saw 2 instances of the same strategy happening. After, you know, a few rounds in between when Velocity Gaming took it for themselves. So you have to constantly be thinking about strategy and thinking about how you are going to play mind games with Velocity Gaming, because they aren't asleep. They're very much awake. They never miss a beat. They're cool and very calculative, and they have very strong communication, which just, you can read it all across the map. Now, the RAD Syndicate, eager to leave a mark in the competition for sure. Batman throws out the slow off. Great to just push back the enemy a little bit. However, RAD Syndicate picks up 2 for themselves, as well as the game 5-1. It's a 4v3 situation. Spike has been planted. Amaterasu throw the curveball, but no one is just quite there. All 4 members on the side of the attackers just defending their positions. They gotta watch all angles, and that's a very sneaky position. Paradox.
Get out of my way!
Now, Amaterasu probably has an idea on where Paradox is. There's a spray. Picks Paradox off. 3v2. And that's a double for Amaterasu's 2v2 situation. Time is ticking. Amaterasu pops the ultimate, 55 HP. Gets pulled back to safety. Now it's a 1v1 situation. Badman versus Amaterasu. There's no time. And he's just gonna dip and give this one over to the RAD Syndicate. 3-4. I did not expect a very close kind of start. But it looks like the RAD Syndicate is trying to step up to the plate.
For sure. Like, really good push by RAD, I would say. They use the smoke. Paradox himself smokes the heaven and the entry site from mid to A. And then the teleport onto those boxes is so cool because as his team pushes, he's able to provide so much information to them regarding the positioning of the other members there. He catches out the Cypher too at the start with Boar. And just like that, RAD actually get the sort of catch Velocity off guard. And as you were saying, that's really important. Now you notice Velocity on the eco round, RAD on the up and up. Velocity though, they did try to make an aggressive push down A long. They didn't find anybody or get information. Garage is completely open and B is 2. RAD is free to go wherever they want.
Master with the boom bot. Here's the auto cue. Gets a bit of HP. X-Cali there. Now Antidote. It's gonna be an equal round for Velocity Gaming. Some Sheriffs. Gonna be Cowboys for this round. The spike has been planted on B side this time. And the RAD Syndicate, they don't just tunnel onto one side, but here it is, the Oxys. Picks off Antidote. And this should be a round for the RAD Syndicate to win, technically, since it's an equal.
I know exactly.
Badman's MDF into pick-off, last 2 standing, Amaterasu and right 2 aids.
Removed.
Paradox finds Phoenix and ZBDF finishes it off. Flawless round, but nonetheless, it is 4-4 on the scoreboard, and this is the closest scoreline I've ever seen Velocity have. They usually do take the lead with at least a 3-round gap, and then an even bigger gap as the games progress.
Yeah, for sure. And RAD Syndicate, I feel like they're doing exactly what we want them to do in trying to catch Velocity off guard. Normally, in a round where you know that your opponent is on the eco round, you never go B. Because B is that tiny area where the pistols inherently become much better because the range cap doesn't exist. RAD Syndicate is like, no. Throw all that in the back burner because we're gonna go hard B. Velocity is not expecting us to go B. Velocity actually tried to make the hard push to A and then rotated directly to C, leaving B open. Amaterasu though showing exactly why he's put on the duelist on this map, getting the 1. Answered back, Amaterasu gets another though. 3v3 on the map in the buy round.
Paradox finds Amaterasu. 3v2 situation. Master, however, is really low, right to ace. 17 HP. Gonna throw that recon bolt. Gets a signature mark by Paradox. Wall bangs him. Last man standing is Antidote with an AWP. I would suggest that they go for the save since that the last round was an equal. But Antidote just took more corners. The spike has been planted. Oh, and he gets the pick off onto Master. 1v2 situation. The RAD Syndicate could lose this as Antidote finds ZBDF. 1v1. Paradox versus Antidote. Got the pistol out. And here it is, but Paradox with the triple kill. I think Antidote might have felt a little bit of pressure there. The time was ticking, but good round nonetheless. He did try to clutch that one out for the boys, but the RAD Syndicate came up on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's as you said, right? Velocity Gaming is not exactly familiar to being down. They have been down in like the first few rounds of the game, perhaps like 1-0, maybe, or 2-0, but they always pull it back and then keep pulling it back as they take the lead up and up. This is the first time after about 8 or 9 rounds that I've seen Velocity go down in the lead, and RAD Syndicate taking the lead on Velocity's preferred map is absolutely huge. That was the buy round 2 for Velocity, so it's even bigger. You see Paradox on his trusty AWP with so much money in the bank. He has enough to buy an AWP again even if he dies this round, so that will be absolutely humongous for RAD Syndicate. RAD Syndicate having an amazing game, keeping Velocity guessing as to what they're going to do. Normally, we expect Velocity to be in the minds of their opponents. RAD seem to have got into their brains today, and that might just make the difference.
Ooh, the shot misses. And Rightways will be safe. All men still standing. Gonna break the armor off the doors. Master. Moving on to B side. Finds Antidote. Toss the nade in. ZBDF. Let's get a pick from the Amaterasu. 5v3. Velocity Gaming, it looks like the momentum has shifted in favor of the attackers. And Master does pick Vibor off. It's a 5v2 situation. Doesn't look like Velocity could get out of this one. Now, the RAD Syndicate just appeared, showing us some pretty good gameplay. They did lose the early rounds, but now they're just bouncing back. And it's still too early to say which team will take this map for themselves, because a lot does change once the side swap happens. And we've seen Velocity on attack. They are ruthless. And the RAD Syndicate would have to play extremely careful in defense. But never mind that. Back into the game. Barriers up. Blocking defender side spawn. And Paradox is gonna watch from C long. But it looks like the members of Velocity Gaming are going for the defuse. But Batman gets a spray off. Flawless round. Double kill.
Revealing area.
And I think the economy on the side of the defenders might be a little bit of a struggle as of now.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, this is absolutely beautiful from Rad. I expected them to get like into the minds of Velocity and bamboozle them once, maybe twice, but they've done it 3 rounds in a row now. Velocity, as Rad moved to C in this round, Velocity, both of them moving to A. Rad completely catching Velocity off guard, and this is not a look we or Velocity are familiar with, right? We always see Velocity dominating. We've never seen them having to pull back a game, so that just makes me wonder. Like, I know they're one of the best teams out there, but having no practice in a scenario where they actually have to pull back could be difficult. But Antidote just like, nope. I'm just gonna sit with an op, and I will op you. This is the buy round, and Velocity really need to win this round because, as you said, the economy is hurting, and Rad have bare money in the bank. So if Velocity is not able to pull this round off, then Rad might just run away with it.
2 more rounds until the side swap. 4-6 Velocity Gaming could try to make this
You
even
will not
on
kill
the
my
scoreboard.
ally.
Batman. Look up the resurrection on Master, but Amaterasu sprays, finds the kill. Antidote Rightways, and this is Velocity Gaming saying enough is enough. 2 rounds in the lead. We've never been put in that position. We want to claim our rightful place. But the RAD Syndicate, don't be mistaken, seems that they have practiced hard and they are performing exceptionally well. Definitely exceeded a lot of expectations. Now Deoxys gonna make his way over to A. Paradox, however, is really far. I'm not sure how this is gonna work out. Deoxys, he's confident. 30 seconds left on the clock, and it's Vibor, the man in defense. Paradox on the other side gets the pick up on Antidote. And here's the plant, but Vibor is going to take him out. And there could be time to defuse. Oh, and Xcali takes Paradox out. And this is Velocity Gaming. Looks like Xcali's mad. He's real mad. But nonetheless, a good round. 5-6. Very close match indeed.
Yeah, Velocity just not feeling great about the fact that RAD Syndicate took the lead, and they're pissed. They want to take it back. Brilliant positioning by Amaterasu right here. He takes advantage of the fact that Antidote has complete control of C long, moves into this cubby right here, and when Badman comes for the res, he just instantly takes down both of them, puts Rad into such a bad situation where they have to close. Though Rad do have the money to pull it back, and it's the last round. As you take a look at the scorecard, you see that 4 of Velocity have their ultimates. Amaterasu instantly pops it as Antidote gets a kill. This might just be even going into the next round.
RAD Syndicate immediately 1 member down, but Batman looks to put his team back at an equal advantage. Amaterasu might be confronted, but that spray! He is an absolute madman. Muscle memory. Antidote takes out Batman. Last man standing is Paradox. 1v2 situation. And that's a triple kill for Paradox, but he does not expect right to ace. 6 is to 6. And that is the end of the first half. Equal on the scoreboard. Very well done by both these teams. And guys, do let us know which team you are supporting in chat. Is it Velocity Gaming or the RAD Syndicate? Now, if you want to have a chance at the competition, perhaps meet some of your favorite teams in the tournament. Remember, Series 2 registrations are live. Link is in the description. You can click it, bring your buddies, your teammates, and sign up for the next tournament. Now back into this game. Round 13, pistol round. Velocity Gaming on the side of attack now, while the RAD Syndicate will be the defenders.
For this phase of where RAD Syndicate is defending, all my eyes are on Badman. Like, if he's able to pull off these walls properly, then it basically nullifies so much of Velocity's attack that it could just make the utmost difference. And if they are able to pull that win through on Haven, that will be so huge because we don't even expect them to sort of have a chance because this is Velocity's fighting map. If they're able to exceed expectations so high in the first map, then in the second match, I might just have to reconsider my position about like making Velocity the outright winner in this series, right? So we do know how good Velocity is on attack, though. We know how aggressive they are. We saw that. We saw glimpses of that on their defensive side. So I'm not gonna assume anything just yet. The wall does get put down in B and taken down. Velocity just playing it really, really slow. And this is not something we expect in the pistol round, right, Apple?
Yeah. Now, it's almost like both teams feel as though they're walking on eggshells. And we don't see the usual aggression from them. And that is ZBDF kicking it off with the first kill. But Xcali finds Paradox for himself through Garage. Now Amaterasu makes his way up A shot. ZBDF with the second kill. And will he get the third? He does. But Amaterasu takes him out. The 3v2 situation should be in the RAD Syndicate's favor here. But Amaterasu is going to change that fate. Drops the hot hands. Good investment. 2v2. Notices the paranoia comes out. And now they're playing Ring Around the Rosies as Deoxys takes out Xcali. 72 HP left.
Triple, baby.
That's a triple kill for Amaterasu. 1v1 situation against Master. Here's the duel. And Master is going for the defuse. Now Amaterasu gets the pick off, but it was a successful defuse!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Wow.
Just a second too late. But we got the idea and things like this do happen. But Master, hats off to you with that ninja defuse. Completely just bamboozled Amaterasu right there. But those were some sick hit shots by Amaterasu in that 13th round.
Yeah, Master just acknowledging the fact that he did one fake, and then he pulls back and tries to get the gunfight, and he notices that Amaterasu does have the ghost, he has the normal classic, and it's very, like, mathematically at least unlikely for him to win the gunfight. Goes for the full defuse. That's not something you ever expect at this stage of the game, at this level of the game, and pulls it off humongous from RAD. You saw on the scorecard that it's a bit of a equal for both teams, though RAD do have better weapons, one Judge, one Spectre for RAD each, and they get the man advantage immediately. RAD doing so much better than we expected,
ZBDF! Now, I remember the last time he was the bottom fragger. He was on Omen and he didn't do as well, but on Haven it seems to be pretty much his calling. Now Xcali, trigger control there. Just gonna keep quiet. Try to sneak in for that spike.
I have the spike.
And that is how you do it. Don't make any noise. Let ZBDF thinking that he must be somewhere else. And then comes the teleport location is revealed. Oh, and this is the RAD Syndicate sandwich. But Xcali does get the plant off. ZBDF with the reverse BM. They're all mad. Everyone's mad. It's an angry day for two teams battling it out head to head. And this is not even the finals. This is the winner's bracket in the quarterfinals. So the team that does lose will move over to the lower brackets where they will battle it out and try to go for the grand finals. This is a lot more action than we could expect. And the RAD Syndicate really carrying their weight this time. now with a 2-round lead over Velocity Gaming.
Hey, right there, you notice how Excali, he just sits in the corner. He's like, don't turn, please don't turn. Lets them walk away. And then sneakily just teleports and just get the plant. Once he got the plant, he knew he's dead. So he doesn't actually do anything about it. Just gets the plant for the extra money. Absolutely huge by Excali. Rad though, they're playing so well on defense. And we know that they're attack favored. But if they're able to do this well on defense, it's huge. Excali though gets the first kill onto Master as they try to make a push down to C-Long. They have control of C-Site, but the bomb is nowhere near. Vibor now, he will pick up the spike and start moving towards C-Site. Velocity is really split up and it's working for them.
And is this the Velocity bounce? Where they don't get the first few rounds that they need, but they bounce back. And Excali ends the round off with a 4 kill. He's mad again. Now, both these teams, they're going head to head. And the smallest mistake is going to cost everything. Because it seems like a pretty even skill matchup. Well, at least for this map Haven. And knowing that it is Velocity Gaming's map pick, they want to perform well. We did see some games yesterday where teams won on the opponent's map pick and lost on their own map pick. So it could be a case of this again, but like I said, it's too early to tell because Velocity is known for the bouncing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to touch up on a point you mentioned about ZBDF just looking so much better on the Cypher, and like that's so true, like because on the Ascent map where we watched Paradox pop off on the Jet, forcing ZBDF to go on to the Cypher, but ZBDF gets picked off. Costa's curse is very much real. Every time I speak well about a player, they seem to just get instantly picked off. It will be the buy round as Velocity move in really quickly. Amaterasu uses the run it back, gets a couple. Velocity pulling it back, just as you said.
Coming in with full velocity. Vibor takes out Master, last man standing. On the side of the RAD Syndicate, Mr. Sova. He might just go for the save. 1v5, that's a bit much to ask for going against Velocity Gaming. But he does get the pick off on him. Here's a spray. That's the second kill. And Amaterasu finishes it off. So at the, he does deny 2 players. But Velocity Gaming just coming back, bringing the scoreboard
This is a nice
8-8. They're not ready to lose. They don't want to lose. And you know, this worked out for them. They did the rush onto A side, got those pickoffs, and it seemed to work. Kind of caught the RAD Syndicate by surprise there.
Strategy that seems to work for both teams is when they hard rush a site and expect the other team to not be able to respond as fast because both of them have the skill levels to instantly take a site. They know exactly what angles to expect. Now though, Amaterasu catching up Paradox as he goes for a risky teleport in the middle of B and C. It is the eco round for RAD Syndicate though, so they're not necessarily expecting to win this round. Batman on the corner is going to get caught out. Another fast, flawless round for Velocity as they take the lead for after a decent time in this match. It was 4-5 and it went even, and then RAD took the lead once again. So now Velocity on the lead, they're going to be feeling much, much better about themselves.
It's almost like you can feel the tension between both these teams through the screen. You can really feel it in their gameplay and the very creative taunts, I would say, after a round win. So Velocity finds themselves in the lead again after quite a while. 9-8. Excelling on the side of attack. Now let's pull up the scoreboard real quick. Have a look at how everyone's doing. Amaterasu leading with 20 kills. Coming back when it's needed. And this is why Velocity is so strong. They have players which just step up to the plate whenever needed. If someone's having a bad day, that's fine. 4 of us, the other 4 of us, we're still gonna do our thing and roll with the punches. Now, Antidote. And Excali moving into Raj. Master picks Excali off
Cover
there.
going out.
Antidote does return the
Shadows
kill.
traveling.
Paradox throwing out the dark covers, just gonna try and push back the attackers a little bit here. There goes the Paranoia. Comes up for a peek. Antidote, however, 72 HP might be met with Paradox. It's a 4v4 situation. Now the Spike, they were contemplating for the seaside push, but it looks like they're going to move over to A. Now by this time, the RAD Syndicate should read into the movements of Velocity Gaming and realize that Vibor is always going to be on the A side. He's great at his defense, and he's the kind of player that Velocity can trust with on just one side. But here is the RAD Syndicate. We come back. 10 seconds left on the clock as Vibor gets 2 kills, stepping up. Spike has been planted. 1v2. Paradox last man standing, and Amaterasu takes him out. This is Velocity Gaming. 2-round lead now over the RAD Syndicate.
So this is such signature plays by Velocity Gaming. You give them an inch and they literally take a mile. This round, they were like running out of time, but they forced the hard push onto B, knowing that, as you said, the Cypher is very likely to be on the A side. ZBDF, he's not able to win the peak fight against Vibor. Vibor gets a couple of kills, gets the spike plant, and then Paradox gets distracted by that camera right there and taken down. 2 games in the lead for Velocity. I think for the first time in this map since like the very start of the map, Velocity, I think they've sort of settled into their comfort and just going to go for the win directly. Rad, they need the answer back. Maybe not this round because I expect it to be their eco round this round. It's just as I say, that ZBDF goes down. It will be the eco round for Rad this round, so next round will be what matters a lot, as you can see. Paradox and ZBDF though really stepping up for their top fraggers.
Now the team that does win this first map, it's definitely going to be a huge impact on the mental, and it depends on how the teams are going to continue fighting, whether they have the mental strength and the ability to come back. Now, the winning team, they will be put in a very nice spot, like in their headspace. Team Ace, everybody gets a kill on the side of Velocity Gaming. 11 is to 8. Now, if the RAD Syndicate if the RAD Syndicate wants to have a chance to come back and take this first map for themselves, basically now they're going in with a full buy. It was an equal round, the last one. They have to win the round, because if they don't, it's just going to be a downhill spiral, and Velocity Gaming will take map 1 for themselves on Haven. Now, quick look at the scoreboard, and let's see what everyone is wielding. 3 ops for the side of the RAD Syndicate. Let's see how this plays out. Well, they are in defense. They can hold positions, but Velocity Gaming, they are no strangers to how to play around compositions. But the Oxys does get a Hunter's Fury kill. 1 for 1, not too bad. 4v4.
Yeah, one operator does go down, I believe, and now it's a 4v4 matchup. Master has the other operator on C side, and Paradox has one on A side. They're just holding it real slow. Badman, he's walled off B side and he's covering garage, but the wall should be expiring any moment now in like about the next. Yep, just as I say that, it expires instantly. Amaterasu pops his running back. They're going for the hard B push once again. In the full rotation coming from Velocity, they see the running back. Velocity though to bamboozle. They're gonna go for C now.
In the earlier Valorant tournaments, we didn't see as much Phoenix. But now as the meta has stabilized, you can see how teams utilize this agent. And Amaterasu is doing a perfect example of Phoenix. Master with the satchels has the showstopper ready, but Excali takes him out before he can shoot a shot. Antidote takes out Batman for the RAD Syndicate. They're gonna be set behind. And Velocity Gaming is getting closer, but Paradox just ops Excali right in the head. I think that was just a little bit of banter, because why not? Why not just teleport in front of them?
Yeah, because, I mean, even though they're on match point now, Velocity Gaming, that round might as well have been match point. Because as we noted before the round, that was the buy round for both teams. And RAD Syndicate went full on gamble mode, went for 3 operators, the most expensive guns in the game. There's no way they're going to be able to get buys, proper buys for their team now. And it just forces them into an instant disadvantaged position for the buy round. You see 3 Phantoms, Phantom and Vandals, but they all have light shields rather than
Cage
heavy
trigger.
shields. The only person with heavy shields master has a Spectre instead. So just not optimal all round for RAD. They really have to play extremely well here to even have a chance at pulling it back, because Velocity with match point, they're looking to take home their home map.
I think those are the small details that we notice. Making a decision to run 3 ops on the side of defense is a little bit unheard of and a bit
to run!
a bit of a risk, I would say, and it definitely didn't pay off. So I personally feel that 2 ops, that's sufficient for a team on the side of defense. It's Cali, South Master. It's a 4v3 as the RAD Syndicate
Revealing area.
does pick off a couple. Now, right to Ace.
Oh my god.
They're going to go for the rotate because X-Cali. Sneaky deaky like. 4 HP. Teleports up onto the crates because why not? 4 HP. He's going to teleport again. Just flexing as well as that beautiful Phantom skin. Will come into contact with the Oxys. Takes him out. 3v2. From what looked like the RAD Syndicate had the upper hand this round. Apparently not. A Paradox takes out right to Ace. It's a 2v2. And Batman takes down X-Cali. Last man standing. That's Antidote. Do they have the time to defuse this spike? 12 is to 8. Is it over for the RAD Syndicate? Not quite. 2 seconds left to spare. And the RAD Syndicate buys more time for themselves.
Yeah, that last TP within the cubby itself for Excalibur, it's really smart. It's something we see more in these stages of the tournament. So basically, when you do use the Omen TP, all of the map turns black, and like the players don't know where he could go. So it's just to sort of fake it out, not like make them to believe that he sort of switched his position once again, whereas he just sort of staying in the same position. Really well played, but even better played by Rad. They were in the literal health disadvantage due to having lesser shields overall, and now they pull it back. Now it is the buy down for both of the teams because Velocity did have some money in the bank, and if Rad, they need 3 rounds in a row just to push it to overtime. But to be perfectly honest, if they're able to push it to overtime on Velocity's home map, that would give them a ton of confidence going into their home map.
Did I just witness a glitch? Master. Defending C. One's there. As Velocity Gaming. Coming in full force. Yoxis. Let's spot out. Gonna give the information over to his teammates. Now all members of Velocity Gaming are ready to attack on the A side, and this is where they're gonna catch the RAD Syndicate off guard, and it might just pay off.
Where you are.
Going up.
Paradox takes out right to Ace. 4v2 situation.
Careful now.
And this strategy is really foolproof, where you just run in, guns blazing, check all corners, to get the pickoffs. But Batman with the Bulldog takes out Amaterasu. Now it's a 2v3. Will they change it into their favor? Not quite, as Antidote gets the killing blow. First map goes over to Velocity Gaming. 13-9.
Really well played by both teams, and for Rad, you have to be thinking that you were so close. Like you went 6-6 and then you went up the lead in the defensive side to go 8-6, but then Velocity just pulling it back. That has to give you confidence going into your own home map, where when you have the lead, you'll be able to finish it off. What I'm really curious about though is a point that we touched on in the middle of the game itself, which was WDF, but Amaterasu, like, this is not a position we get to see him a lot in because he's always on the Brimstone and such. Now on the Phoenix, though, pulling through, getting that MVP with the 344 average combat score. Absolutely amazing.
Oh, Amaterasu, for sure. At the top this time. It's his time to shine. But let's go into AMD's Relive the Moment and talk about what went down in the match between Velocity Gaming and the RAD Syndicate. First map on Haven, and it was a good performance. Now, the scoreboard doesn't tell you anything. You have to watch the map to understand. And I believe that we have seen a lot of new tricks up both these teams' sleeves. Now, Excali, he did play extremely well, especially towards the end of this match. Definitely bamboozling the opponents a lot, getting the plant off, and clutching it out for the boys.
Yeah, really well played. I think Excali had a brilliant game. I think he was the silent MVP for the side of Velocity Gaming. Amitarasu, obviously the more explosive player. He's just able to get the insta kills, get those clutches really well done. But all of Velocity really well played. What I'm really curious about though going into Ascent is we saw how comfortable ZBDF was in this map on Cypher. We saw how uncomfortable he seemed to be on the Omen when Paradox switched to the Jet. So what exactly do you choose to do in the second map? Do you take a gamble once again and free up Paradox, as we said before, unchain the beast, so to say? Or do you keep ZBDF on the comfort pick that he has shown that he can perform really well in?
Yes, and I definitely did not expect the RAD Syndicate to rake up that many rounds. They did end 13-9, and they did pull out a very explosive performance. And I can't wait to see how Map 2 is going um, to fare, because this Haven is Velocity Gaming's map pick, and the second one will be the RAD Syndicate on Ascent. Now, the RAD Syndicate coming into this tournament, they have been dominating the teams that they were up against, but not to the scale of Velocity Gaming. And you can see that Velocity overall, just down to the nitty-gritty, the details, how they choose to infiltrate a site, how they spread out themselves, even just down to their mechanical skill, and how they're constantly thinking of ways to fake what they're doing and just causing confusion with their opponents. The RAD Syndicate, they are not far from beating Velocity Gaming, but there is still quite a bit to work on, as Velocity seems very well-rounded in most areas, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Velocity, they're a team, they're an actual proper Valorant team where every single member, despite their role, is able to actually carry the team. For Rad, it's more like specific defined roles where they have players who are definitely carries. We did see a couple of players who aren't necessarily the carries of the team really step up today. So going into Ascent, as you said, like one of Rad's more favored maps, I expect them to be much more comfortable. I expect Paradox to absolutely pop off with the operator because he needs to do that for his team to stand a chance against Velocity. Because going into the second map, Velocity is not like they're not comfortable on Ascent, right? They're just as comfortable on Ascent. They're just as comfortable on likely every other map, with the small exception of Bind, perhaps. So Velocity will have much more confidence going into game two. They did have small hiccups in this game, but the fact that they were able to pull through and get the win will just boost their already high strong confidence so up in the clouds that now it's up to Rad. For me, up to Paradox. I cannot forget the play he made last time on Ascent. So it's up to him to just sort of pull it back for his team. Because I want a game three. I really want a game three.
For sure. And all of the members on the side of Velocity Gaming, they are strong and they do carry themselves. They can hold their own, and when the time comes, they step up to the plate. The RAD Syndicate, all 5 members, they should strive to be just as well-rounded as each player. And hopefully in the second map, we will see all players shine just as bright as one another. Now, the second match, we are going to prep for it. So in the meantime, sit back, relax, and Series 2 is open. Registrations are live. You can click the link in the description. So grab your buddies, sign up for the next tournament that starts in September. Now, if you want to do a little bit of shopping, spend some money, treat yourself because you deserve it. Click the links in the description. And we have 10% off JBL Quantum Gaming headsets like what CA and myself are wearing. So get yourself a pair. And without further ado, relax, watch the highlights, and we'll be back very short.
so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Let's make the most of this night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't want to do. Baby, while we're young,
forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG Ultragear Gaming Monitor.
I never want to make compromises when I play. I need every FPS I can take to perform at my peak. For myself, for my team, as well as for my viewers. Streaming always used to present me with a choice, either FPS or stream quality. I no longer have to make that decision thanks to AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors. Now my viewers get to see my gameplay smoothly. Ever since joining the team in 2018, AMD's partnership with Fnatic has given us the latest computer tech to help our performance. 3rd generation Ryzen is now the pinnacle of multi-threaded processor performance, and it's a big step up from everything else I've used before. AMD have listened to our feedback to make sure they make the best products possible so that we can simultaneously play as well as stream at the best setting. That's why I use AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Challengers series, powered by JBL Quantum Gaming headsets and AMD. We are back with map number 2. It is the RAD Syndicate versus Velocity Gaming. We saw an explosive map number 1, where both teams went 6-6 in the first half, but Velocity won map number 1 on Haven overall 13-9. Now moving on to Ascent, map number 2. This is the RAD Syndicate's map pick. So, on paper, the RAD Syndicate should dominate this second game. What do you think, CA?
For sure, like definitely on paper, as you said, RAD Syndicate did pick this map, right? And they should be much more comfortable on this map. Having said that, these are human players playing a best of 3, so it does factor into your mindset the fact that you did end up losing game 1, and therefore you just, even if RAD Syndicate have a brilliant mental, they have to be feeling a little bit pressured, and that will factor in. Having said that, Ascent is a RAD Syndicate's favorite, for at least according to me, for a very particular reason. It's because Paradox is so damn good on the op. If he's able to sort of get a really good advantage, because as we know, it's RAD Syndicate once more attacking first. If they're able to pull off a better round advantage than they had in Haven, like maybe go 7-5 or 8-4, it would be absolutely humongous for them going into defense, because then they know what they can rely on to sort of finish it off for them on defense. Velocity, though, they're not going to be caught as off guard as much as they did in game 1. the surprises that happen in game 1 will not necessarily happen in game 2. So Velocity will be coming for them because they do not want to lose any games whatsoever.
All right, and this is Ascent. Let's pull up the scoreboard real quick and look at everybody's picks. It seems like Velocity Gaming will be running a breach this time. And let's just see the IGNs of everyone and which agent that they have picked. X-Kelly on that Omen, right to Ace on Sova. Amaterasu on breach. He was the Phoenix the last time. And Antidote. We'll take that Sage. Now, Paradox. This is the first time I've ever seen him on radar. So that's cool. ZBDF back on his comfort with Jet. Everything else looks the same pretty much. But Batman, he's going to run on that Omen. So no Sage for the RAD Syndicate this time. But for Velocity Gaming, they want that Sage. Now, Ascent does have very distant angles. That's why the orb is just so good on this map. But ZBDF dashes in. Scally takes him out and Paradox gets a kill. Now, this game is going to be good. Amaterasu on this breach, Paradox on the Reyna. What is going on? Both these teams constantly surprising us time and time again.
Revealing area. Found them.
Script seems to be flipped as RAD Syndicate is the team running the no stage composition now, but all chaos as multiple kills go down. Badman gets 2. Right to Ace does answer back. 1v1 Badman versus Right to Ace. Bomb base planted. Right to Ace with a perfect drop into headshot gets the first round win for his team. And this will be huge because last time it was RAD winning off the bat and RAD sort of picking up the tempo. The fact that RAD now with this really different composition, as you said, we've never before seen Paradox on the Reyna, and we've never before seen Badman on the Omen. That's going to be something to watch out for. More importantly, Amaterasu on the breach. Now that's something I'm really interested in because though there are really long corridors on A and B, for mid control, breach can be so damn good. Is it actually able to use the breach appropriately for mid control, sort of get those key flashes in on time, then they might just be able to control the entire map whatsoever.
Revealing
RAD Syndicate
area.
on their eco round though, going for a hard push down A once again.
There they are.
Alright, the recombo. Not going to spot anyone, but Excali and Vibor just popping off. And it's a 3v2. The RAD Syndicate, it's an equal round for them. But they do find 2 pickoffs. Not too bad, I would say. Now right to Ace. Coming through. And gets the spray, but Antidote takes out Paradox. And last man standing, Deoxys falls. And that's going to be an easy defuse for Velocity Gaming, as expected. It was an equal round. And yeah, so we were talking about the breach on this map Ascent. And his fault line comes in handy when you know someone is in a very stationary position, perhaps holding the AWP. You can, you know, impair them, coordinate with your teammates, get the kill. The AWPer for the side of Velocity is Antidote. He's really exceptional at it, and it's going to be a battle of who is going to utilize the AWP best on this map. Is it Paradox on the side of attack, or is it Antidote on the side of defense? Now, Excali throws out the Paranoia. Still has his dark cover up and ready. Full buy this time for both sides. Spike is placed in a safe spot. Excali just going to throw out the dark cover. Stop a little bit of a push. And we can see Velocity Gaming very aggressive. Excali, double kill. Doesn't look good for the RAD Syndicate. Should be thriving on this map. Not off to a great start. 2v4 situation.
Yeah, a bit of a weird strategy coming in from RAD Syndicate there. Paradox was sent to flank towards B side, walking into A, and he did get 1 pick off, but he was just picked off immediately. And the thing about the Reyna that I at least want to see from Paradox is that he really needs to be with the team, popping off and trying to get the trade kills rather than trying to find the solo kills by himself, because Reyna can get picked off in those solo circumstances, and to not get picked off, he has to execute it to a really high skill cap, which is really difficult to do consistently. Now though, you see RAD Syndicate trying to move towards B side, and they're gonna get caught out right there. Excali, he's held this corner by himself for so long, gets 4 kills right off the corner, and Excali once again. 3-0 this time. No answer from RAD Syndicate as it was in the last map. And as you said, they should be much more comfortable here. Though it just looks like Velocity, they sort of retaining the confidence they got from last game and completely taking over the game against RAD. And it looks like Velocity just showcasing exactly why they're the better team here.
Oh, it's Caddy just came into that round with a 4K, defending out of his mind on A short. Great pickup. And when Xcali pops off, he pops right off. And we just saw that the last round now. Master, Sheriff, another equal round or half buy for the RAD Syndicate. Good choice. They might go into this round with the aim of getting some pickoffs. Not maybe a round win. They have to see how the flow of this goes. They do have the less superior guns. Unless their one-taps are just mad. You gotta rely on that. And that does take an exceptional amount of skill. Now Master. Kicking onto A side. Dark cover dropped by Excali, but Armateur finds the kill on ZPF. Excali with the double. That's what he does best. Now Batman with a duel. Amaterasu takes him out. Last man standing. Not a single member has fallen on the side of Velocity Gaming.
There.
So
Never mind that they are good on Haven. They're great on Ascent too. At least that's the statement that they are making. Paradox gets taken out by Antidote. Falls to 0. Velocity Gaming coming in strong.
4 rounds in a row. RAD Syndicate again just going to A and trying to force the situation at A. And as you can see, Velocity fully expecting it. Amaterasu also there to back off Excali and Vibor. And Excali is absolutely popping off this game as he gets another double kill this round, making it 4-0 for Velocity Gaming. We do know that that was the economy round for RAD Syndicate, and now you see ZBDF with the full buy round for RAD Syndicate. Excali 9-2 in 4 rounds though. What a game. They are switching it up a little bit, trying to go for mid control this time, and I really like that. You cannot keep trying to go for the same side. Amaterasu though on the breach, he's really good at getting mid control. He spots out multiple people.
Ooh, and Velocity finds themselves short-handed this time. But not quite, as Antidote gets a double. ZBDF picks him off, 2v2. Now the spike is in the middle side of the map. Velocity Gaming with their 6th sense. They're gonna make their way over to A. They know that the plant will be here, but ZBDF takes right to Ace out. You don't see ZBDF pop off much, but when he does, during a crucial time, the RAD Syndicate does get this round. It will help them momentum. That's the spray. Batman. Finishing blow onto Vibor. Headshot. And this is the first round in map 2 that the RAD Syndicate will have for themselves.
Absolutely clutch to sort of go for the mid push right here. Amaterasu does see the uplines of multiple people right here, but he's not able to actually pick them off. He gets one and then gets answered back by Deoxys. And RAD Syndicate, the fact that they're able to control mid right here and take the fights on their bases gives them a huge thing. Antidote answers back really well to get 2 kills, but as you said, right, ZBDF actually feeling really comfortable on his trusty jet on the op. That round was huge for RAD Syndicate because if they lost that round, the economy would be basically irrecoverable against such a good team as Velocity. RAD trying to pull it back, and now they've switched it up once again. The bomb is just dropped off. They're looking for small picks.
Excali with the defense on A site. And it's smart of Velocity putting the Sage at B. Does have the barrier. And by the time the barrier is taken down, if there was a force for B side, all of Velocity Gaming will have time to okay. Now there is the Rolling Thunder dropped by Amaterasu. Excali will follow up. And there it is. But he only picks up one as Deoxys takes him out. 1 for 1. RAD Syndicate, they don't have a Sage. So Deoxys is going to remain low. Vibor finds Batman, ZBDF. A return kill, but Vibor picks off 2. Master on site. 72 HP. There's the spray. Connects the headshot. Onto Amaterasu. 2v1 situation. Antidote, last man alive. Does have the resurrection. Barriers available. All abilities are available. How is he gonna play this one out? Now, there it is. One shot onto Master, pops the resurrection. And that's the second kill. Antidote with the clutch. That was all him. Stepping up to the plate. Not happy with his performance in the first map. And in this second one, brilliant round, all him. 5-1. Now, this is what I am a little bit worried about here, CA. The RAD Syndicate is running 3 duelists. Jet, Reyna, and Raze. But they aren't getting the rounds on the side of the attack. So that's going to be a little bit worrying for the RAD Syndicate.
Yeah, the Reyna paradox is just not something that I don't know, maybe not feeling comfortable on it, or maybe the team is just not used to it, because you can see that he's the second lowest fragger, and that's something we never want to see for one of the highest MVP holders in their team, right? Now though, they're once again back on the eco round, and as you said, Antidote clutched so importantly last round, because if RAD Syndicate had won that round, they would have been able to stabilize their eco, but now once again they're pushed to the sort of economy and then buy spot. Master gets 1, Excali returns though. 4 versus 4, and Velocity just looks so much better. Triple duelist, while I get the theoretical strategy, it's simply not working out. Yoxis though?
Yoxis. He just came in massive with those 2 kills, but Antidote is there to stop his rampage. 2v3, however, the RAD Syndicate was on an eco. Right, 2 A's. Picks up ZBDF. V2. Velocity Gaming. Don't have the what? How did he do that, Antidote? He just wallbanged Flick on the op.
Oh my
Picked
god.
up that kill, and that is the next one. Triple kill, Antidote. That was absolutely insane. I have a headache from looking at that. How?
That was nasty. That was absolutely nasty. Like, I think we'll get to
Indeed.
see it here, right here again. But, like, well done by RAD Syndicate, to be perfectly honest, to get into this position of a 2v2 in that eco round. But Antidote, he's popping off. Like, he's on the Sage, which is a more defensive pick, but he has the op. And oh my god.
Oh my god.
You can see the hole on the wall. Right there.
That is just nuts.
So sick.
It's like we are on planet Earth and Antidote was in a different realm there. He was in a different dimension. Oh my goodness, that was definitely one of the top highlights of how he did that. Unbelievable. Now moving on to the next round. Velocity Gaming with 5 rounds in the lead over the RAD Syndicate. Doing extremely well on the side of defense. Right, 2 A's. Catches Paradox and Batman with the Hunter's Fury.
Out of charges.
This is going to be so valuable for Velocity Gaming.
I can sort of feel the pressure that RAD Syndicate seems to be feeling right now, because you see them sort of like much less calculated than they were in game 1 when they were switching up their plays. Their switch ups now look much more desperate, and Velocity, they seem to be thriving in this. When you take the fight to them is when they like it the most. ZBDF, though, he gets the kill back, and it's 3v3. And it's not even like it's far off. RAD is so close, but Velocity just seem to have gotten better from map 1.
Alright, Master. Last
I
man
know
standing with the
exactly
spike.
where you are.
Holding on to his dreams, but Vibor's gonna drop that neural theft. Gets the information. 30 seconds left on the clock. Master might want to pick up the pace a little bit, but he does only have 70 HP. Vibor's webcam is gonna spot him out. But Master makes the merry-go-round. He's on site. 15 seconds left. Scouting the area, but Vibor does change his position. 9 seconds left. He has to get the plant off. But this is the showstopper. Picks up 1. 4 seconds to get the last kill. 4 seconds. And Excali will take him out. Velocity Gaming just coming in so strong now. It's almost like the first map was a wake-up call. And they came into the second map not wanting to drop anything. Now they're just playing almost like perfection. Like they're a little bit like AI. Just completely moving into the right spots, rotating when it's needed. Their aim is on point to getting all these kills. And the RAD Syndicate is just being taken by surprise. And I think the agent picks aren't helping the RAD Syndicate at this point. And when the side swap comes, it is going to be a little bit
Get out of my way!
dicey on how the RAD Syndicate will fare. Now, Velocity Gaming though, right to Ace, Recon Bolt, and Sheriff Shot. That's just nuts. Antidote. The op shot onto Deoxys. Now, the RAD Syndicate, 2 men down. This is going to be a hard one to come back from.
Yeah, for sure. They're gonna go down 8-1. And this is the velocity that we were talking about in game 1. The velocity that just takes the lead and then runs away with it. And they're doing exactly that. RAD Syndicate, they have the right ideas in terms of strategy. Like, they are switching it up in the right spots. They're just not executing it nearly good enough because velocity, you cannot just sort of take risks into velocity because they'll answer back perfectly. We're getting another kill. This is the eco round once again for RAD Syndicate though. As you can note, Badman on the Sheriff. So they're not really expecting much, but at this point, they need even the eco rounds because they're 8-1. And as I was saying, like a couple rounds before this, when they tried to go for mid control, that was the right idea. Like when you have the full buy, you want to go for mid control. But Vibor had his trapwire set up perfectly, and the trapwire information in combination with the perfect Hunter's Fury coming out in that tight, narrow spot just sort of denied them all sorts of control there. Now when they're on the eco round, they go for the B push, but like right to Ace just seems to know exactly where he could expect them, throws out the recon bolt, and then gets the subsequent kill. And RAD Syndicate, they're just sort of crumbling under pressure at this point. So we have seen comebacks from stages like this. We have seen comebacks, so I'm not going to write them off completely. But to pull off a comeback, they really need to calm themselves down. Badman goes down, Spike goes down. Not looking good at all for RAD Syndicate.
Now the RAD Syndicate making an attempt going into the boss playground as a Cypher. Gets taken out. 4v4. Right to Ace. In market. Looking for the right opportunity. There's the Lear. Takes it out.
Shock
Now,
dart.
Paradox doesn't quite get the shot on
Shock
him.
dart.
It's close. See? Hole in the wall there. Right to Ace. Gets picked off by Paradox. And Amaterasu finds Deoxys 3v3. And here is the duel master. Takes out Excali Antidote though. Amaterasu with the triple. Coming in massive this round.
will not kill my allies!
He has his boys back. And Antidote with the last kill on ZBDF, who was trying to make the rotate. But he's gonna get caught out, unfortunately.
Yeah, so now you can see the sort of communication also crumbling a little bit for RAD Syndicate. Because when they take control of B site is when ZBDF starts rotating on the minimap. He should be rotating much earlier because the team should be communicating much earlier that they're getting control of B site. If they're able to get the plant a little bit sooner, then they might be able to avoid those peaks coming in where Antidote and Amaterasu just get those free kills. At this point though, for RAD Syndicate 9-1, it looks like it's basically impossible for a comeback because this is not just any team they're facing up against. This is the RAD Syndicate, this is Velocity Gaming, the unbeaten team. Perfect wall coming out to deny it. You have to break through it.
Oh, and Paradox is just angry. He's infuriated. Takes down the barrier, runs in.
Gotcha.
And the RAD Syndicate 3v3 as Amaterasu finds the super. Amaterasu gonna pop the flash. Here's the spray. Amaterasu with the triple kill on ZBDF. He get this ace. Rolling Thunder launches out. Vibor, man to be there with him. Paradox. That's a triple. Now it's a 2v1. Last man standing is Amaterasu. 4 kills for him. It's a 1v1 situation. Amaterasu versus Batman. And that's an ace! How did he do that? Just rushing into sight. Picking up all the kills. Just gonna, you know, delay that defuse a little bit. Pick up that op.
Shut up and let me
Good
work.
planning there, I would say. And the spike is successfully defused with 4 seconds left to spare. Ace for Amaterasu as he brings his team to double digits, 10-1. And we will move on into the last round before this one.
So well played by Amaterasu right there. Like as I said at the start of the map, I'm really excited to see this breach in action because there are like very select corners down in Ascent where the breach sort of just thrives, and you can see that like from him getting the triple onto ZBDF, then moving on with the Rolling Thunder and getting the last 2 kills. Amaterasu, the Game 1 MVP, absolutely popping off. He's like, I want the entire series MVP for this series against RAD Syndicate. 10-1. This is looking much more like a stomp as the spike carrier goes down once again. Empress is popped by Paradox though, and it is 3v3, so they might just be able to answer back.
ZBDF. On site, spike has been planted. Successful A-side infiltration here from the RAD Syndicate. Now the Oxys, the triple kill.
Oh my god.
But Amaterasu and Vibor just knocks it out the park. And
I mean,
you know, from the first map to this second map, it is a huge difference. Velocity, we can tell that you are angry. Delaying that defuse just for that kind of taunting. I mean, you deserved it, right? You did come up massive this match, winning 10 rounds consecutively over the RAD Syndicate. Now, I think it is a huge issue on the team composition side. Like, for Velocity Gaming, they are running 2 initiators, 2 controllers, and a sentinel. Now, they are starting out on the side of defense, and it works with their playstyle. Now, if they do swap to attack, Sova and Breach are the type that can just take over a site with their utility. And then you have the Omen and the Cypher to lock down the area because they're controllers. And Sage, Antidote Man, he's the AWPer. He's the last man. He's the guy in the back that has the utility. That is the way that we can understand their composition. As for the RAD Syndicate, they're running 3 duelists. I personally believe that 2 duelists are fine in a tournament setup. So 3 duelists, 1 initiator, and 1 controller. So I'm not understanding where the balance is. I can't see how this is working. And Excali taken up by ZBDF. That's a double for ZBDF. So as I was saying, I just can't understand how this team competition comes into play. I would like the RAD Syndicate to just prove it to us why this lineup of agents works. Now back into the action. Amaterasu, 2v2. Spike has been planted A side. Amaterasu just linger here on A long.
idea by Excali there as he used the paranoia to surprise ZBDF, with ZBDF winning the gunfight. And oh, ZBDF getting one more. ZBDF versus Amaterasu, and Amaterasu, of course, as usual, clutches up for his team, gets the win. 12-1 from 13-9. As you said, Velocity, they're just angry at this point. They're like, hey, you caught us off guard in game 1, but let us show you what kind of team we exactly are. We're not going to take you lightly at all, and we're going to completely stomp you, give you no chance whatsoever to go to game 3 or to get any of your confidence back. We're going to win rounds back to back to back. And it's just beautiful by Velocity. And it's perfect in the way you set up the compositions, because I think it has to do a lot with preparation of both the teams. RAD Syndicate just sort of going in with what they feel is best, whereas Velocity, they're so much more calculated. The Breach and the Sova, as you said, they're so good on both sides of defense and attack in terms of controlling or breaching a site by themselves. And the Omen and Cypher is something that we've seen from Velocity basically in every single composition of theirs. So beautiful play by Velocity. And now they're with the man advantage. It just seems like it's over for RAD Syndicate, down to the lower brackets with them, because Velocity is done with this game.
Yeah, the RAD Syndicate still has another chance in the lower brackets, and I do hope that, you know, they round themselves up and work on the areas where they need improvement. Because the RAD Syndicate is a strong team. I do believe that they are in the top 4.
Tripwire destroyed.
So it'll be good to see them improve, and I think that this is a massive step compared to the last event, where both maps they were against Velocity and it was just a stomping. This time they did put up a fight in map, and Amaterasu with the double kill on the Bulldog finishes it off. 13-1, and it is a wrap, best of 3, 2-0 in favor of Velocity Gaming. They move over to the next tier, the winners bracket semifinals, while the RAD Syndicate will move to the lower bracket. So to all you RAD Syndicate fans, this is not the last of your team. You will see them still compete in this competition.
Yeah, good effort by RAD Syndicate, but I think they really need to go back and evaluate exactly what they were trying to pull off here. Four members of Velocity on top there. Like Scally steals the show with a 329 average combat score. Amaterasu not that far away though. Brilliant game one and game two for Amaterasu, just absolutely popping off in this series against RAD Syndicate. And for me, it's all about like this sort of mental preparation that Velocity seem to have. The comps they seem to pull out, like the Breach or the Phoenix on the Haven, there's so much more practice with it in terms of the entire team. I'm not talking about like the individual player knowing the agent. It's about the team playing around that specific agent. Velocity knows how to play around the Breach. They know what the Breach is capable of. Rat Syndicate, they don't seem like they seem to be that well oiled. I don't think they understand how exactly they like the team is supposed to utilize the fact that they have three powerhouses, three duelists. So that's something I want. I wish Rat Syndicate would work on. Now though, like, can any team take a game off of Velocity?
I think not. I would like to see a team prove me wrong, but right now, Velocity Gaming, they seem to be the top team with a huge gap between themselves and maybe the second team of the tournament. So let's move into AMD's Relive the Moment and look at some highlights from the last map. Now, this is map number 2. It was the RAD Syndicate's map pick. Surprisingly, on Velocity's map pick, the RAD Syndicate did a lot better. And this second one, they kind of failed to perform. And I do feel, we were talking about it time and again, that it lied in the team composition. And this right to ace just drops, gets that headshot. One of the best and most accurate shots I have seen.
Like, it takes a certain amount of skill to not just sort of drop from the rafters at the right spot, but also drop at the right spot and win the ensuing gunfight, knowing that the person below is completely expecting you to be right there, right then. So brilliantly played by every single member of Velocity. Like, I'm sure in the entire game we can pull out multiple like instances of every single member popping off. Antidote with his clutch where he revives someone, and then right to ace right there. Excali, of course, the entire game he was brilliant, and Amaterasu, do I even have to speak about the man because he played the breach so damn well. It was a sight to watch. And as you said, right now it feels like Velocity are in that number one spot with a huge gap, but I feel like the gap is slowly but surely reducing, and that's got like Velocity's got to notice that too. So that just begs the question for me: how can this Velocity roster get even better? Because I think they are gonna get even better.
Indeed. And the RAD Syndicate, I will say that the performance in map 1 is a huge improvement. They did manage to wake up quite a number of rounds. So 13-9, they did take 9 rounds under their belt, definitely closer to what they have done before against Velocity Gaming. So in a sense, they can take that, remember what worked and what helped them, what was successful. And here we just see Excali getting that 4K. He popped off here in this second map, and Velocity is staying true to the fact that all 5 players do have moments where they shine. They are equally as reliable, and if the RAD Syndicate can get to that level, it will be an awesome time for them the next time around. Now, the RAD Syndicate moves over to the lower brackets, so they do have time to work on themselves and try to work their way up back into the grand final. So this is not exactly their chance lost. They still have a chance to make it all the way to the grand finals, and I'm excited to see how they would make that journey there.
For sure, like even the fact that they're going to be they're not going to be facing teams of necessarily their caliber. They're going to be facing slightly easier matchups. That has to help in terms of practicing their strategies and coming through with in terms of confidence. Because as we mentioned, right, Rat Syndicate is one of the top four teams in the entire composition. So a team that it can definitely try to make a play for the grand finals. So we will see Rat Syndicate back in action. It's just a question of how much they can learn from this game moving forward. GG, well played to Velocity and to Rat Syndicate for a really nice series, though.
Yeah, I love both these teams. It was a blast watching this game, and I can't wait to see both of them on stream once more. Now, guys, this is the end of the first half, which we just featured Velocity Gaming versus the RAD Syndicate. Now, the second half will start at 8 p.m. So do come back. Remember to subscribe, click that bell icon so you get notifications for the second half, which will be Team Villianous versus AtmosFear. Definitely want to watch. The two teams that really came out of nowhere, and they're pretty strong. So do keep a lookout for that. And remember, registrations for Series 2 is live. Link is in the description. Grab your buddies and join the next tournament, which starts in September. And if you're feeling free, you want to buy some stuff for yourself, treat yourself basically, do check the links in the description. We have 10% off JBL Quantum Gaming headsets. Like you can see what both myself and CA are using. And without further ado, we are going to end this first half. My name is Apollonia. I was your host and caster. And this is CA who joined me, caster and analyst. We'll see you guys at 8 p.m. tonight. Take care.
I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Let's make the most of this night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't want to do. Baby, while we're young, so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Let's make the most of this night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't want to do. Baby, while we're young, I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Take my hand, and we don't need to do the things we don't want to do. Baby, while we're young,